wanted to go ahead and do a video, a little follow-up video from when we pruned back our raspberries to not only give an update on how they're doing, but also showing the areas and how we tried to propagate, how that actually worked. So you can see on the existing ones, we cut back. You can already see there's berries on them. You can just overall look and see how many berries there are, bushes there are. Just a huge number of them. I'll just continue to walk along here. And you can see they're just popping out everywhere into the areas that we really don't want them in. And this will hopefully, that right there will hopefully give a shot of the raspberries. You can just see how thick they are and how lush. I just want to share, last year we were blessed with 40 plants from our friends, and now we probably have, I don't know, it looks like more than 1,000. And we've already dug up some and put them in a new area. We have friends coming over to dig up additional ones, but just a huge blessing. But they're getting too wide compared to what we want. You can look over here and see that they're starting to extend all the way out. Also look down in here and you can see we got some of our clover started, because that's what we're trying to do in this area that we've had covered now with hay for 2 years. We went ahead and put some clover down. You can see we've got some more clover. But not to digress, what I want to talk about now is, so what did we do to prepare the soil? So this soil that these were planted in was covered in cardboard first, and then it was covered with hay. And it was like that for probably 8 months before we ever planted. It really allowed the soil to condition, work real well, minimal weeds that were in there. And you can see, if you look out here, we got some Bermuda grass, but if you look at just overall, there's some clover growing, but this has been like this now for 2 years just by putting cardboard down and putting hay. So I don't think that's too bad from a weed standpoint. And then if you look at just the sheer amount of berry plants, it's just going great. So I think that's, if I would give you guys a tip, prepare your soil in advance. Whether you do cardboard and hay or whatever your choice is, I think the trick is to make sure you get your soil prepared. And now we'll go and talk about the areas as far as what we did for, trying to propagate some additional ones, which I don't think we really need to based on how many I'm seeing coming up. So the first method we did was we went ahead and pulled back some of this hay, which is right over here, and we just covered it back up with hay. No moisture was added, nothing like that. And you can see we've got one here. There's this one here that's starting to grow. Back in here looks like another one. So there's 3. There's another little one, 4. Another one over here, 5. This little tip's starting to grow, 6. So I don't remember how many plants I threw in here, but there was maybe 25, 30 cuttings, and we've got 6 of them growing. So that's about 25% as far as the your return on your time, because you're getting 25% back of the canes you threw in there, or the cuttings of the canes. Now we'll go look in the greenhouse, and then after that we'll go check one other spot. And again, none of these areas we put any water on, anything, just simply threw them in the ground and let's see what happens. Okay, you can look and see there's our main raspberry patch down there, and this way was how we were trying to extend it. I threw all these canes in here as far as the cuttings of the canes, and not one of them has any green growth on it. So I'd say that's 0%. Now we'll go to the greenhouse. Okay, we're in the greenhouse area. And you can look and see from just shoving them in the ground, the sticks, quite a bit of weeds in here. Didn't do anything with them because I knew I was going to potentially dig this area up. But we have one right here that's starting to grow. And we have another one down there, another one here. I'm seeing from these raspberries, it looks like to me, out of probably 100 we put in the ground here, we have probably 5 that have lived. So 5% chance of growth, and it's been now probably 2 months since we put these in there. Okay, so to wrap up here, we'll look at this beautiful golden raspberry that's just blooming. I guess the best method I found for propagating them is to let them do it themselves, because we took 40 plants and probably turned them into more than 1,000 in 1 year. I think that was done through good soil preparation. Throwing them underneath the hay and just forgetting about them seemed to be the next best. It got about 25% yield. Throwing them in the greenhouse with nice loose soil ended up about 5%, and then just throwing them in bare dirt, really with no preparation and not loose soil, that was 0%. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it gives you some ideas on how to propagate and also how to prepare your soil. Hope you have a great day. Shalom.